Most riders think they're taking care of their motorcycle just fine. They fuel it, ride it, park it, and repeat the cycle like it's nothing more than a daily tool. But here's the ugly truth. Without even realizing it, you're slowly murdering your motorcycle's engine. Day after day, ride after ride, the life of your bike is slipping away. Not because of some unavoidable accident or random failure, but because of you. Yes, you, the rider, the owner, the so-called caretaker. You are the one putting your engine on a slow death sentence simply because of habits that feel normal, harmless, or even cool. And here's the scariest part. Most of these bad habits don't show damage overnight. They don't give you an instant warning sign. Instead, they rot your motorcycle from the inside out, quietly, invisibly, until one day, when you least expect it, the engine coughs, chokes, and dies. Then you're left with the sickening realization that the destruction was preventable. If only you knew better. Think about it. Your engine is like a living, breathing organism. It needs the right conditions to survive: proper lubrication, proper breathing, proper handling. Yet riders abuse it every single day. They rev it like a toy, starve it of what it needs, ignore its signals, and then act shocked when the repair bills pile up. This isn't bad luck, it's bad riding behavior. The worst part? Many riders will keep killing their engine without ever realizing it because nobody told them the truth. Mechanics won't warn you. Why would they, when your ignorance keeps their shop full? Manufacturers won't tell you because the faster your engine dies, the sooner you'll buy a new bike. So, let me ask you this. Do you want to be the rider who throws away thousands on repairs and replacements because you couldn't break a few deadly habits? Or do you want to be the rider who actually understands how to protect their machine, squeeze every ounce of performance out of it, and make it last far beyond what most people think is possible? The choice is simple. You either wake up now and stop killing your engine, or you keep doing what you're doing and watch your motorcycle's heart slowly die in your hands. This video isn't about boring tips. It's about exposing the worst things riders do that absolutely destroy their engines. And if you care even a little bit about your bike, you need to hear this, because whether you admit it or not, some of these bad habits are probably things you're doing right now. 1. Revving a cold engine. Let's start with the most common crime against your motorcycle: revving a cold engine. You've probably seen riders fire up their bike in the morning, twist the throttle like maniacs, and think it's harmless, or even good to warm up the bike faster. But what's actually happening? That engine oil sitting inside your motor is thick, cold, and sluggish. It hasn't had the chance to circulate, to coat the pistons, cylinders, and bearings that need it. When you rev a cold engine, you're forcing metal parts to grind against each other, dry, unprotected, and under brutal stress. Imagine waking up, still stiff, and someone shoves you into a sprint. Your muscles would tear apart. That's exactly what you're doing to your engine. Here's the manipulation part. Every time you rev cold, you shave off hours, sometimes days, of your engine's lifespan. And the tragic part? You don't notice. You'll still ride today, you'll still ride tomorrow. But the damage accumulates silently until one day, that beautiful bike you love suddenly needs a rebuild. All because you couldn't wait 60 seconds for the oil to circulate. If you want to protect your engine, you need patience. Let it idle, let it breathe, let it warm up before you demand performance. Anything else is just slow suicide for your motorcycle. 2. Running on low or old oil. Now let's talk about the blood of your engine, oil. Riders are notorious for ignoring oil changes, stretching them way beyond the recommended intervals, or worse, letting the bike run low on oil altogether. And here's the truth nobody tells you. An engine can survive bad fuel. It can survive rough roads, but it cannot survive without proper oil. That oil isn't just a liquid, it's a shield, a barrier between life and death for every moving part inside your engine. Without it, Friction skyrockets, heat builds up, and your engine parts literally grind themselves into dust. But here's what makes this worse. Most riders don't even check their oil levels regularly. They just assume it's fine, the bike feels okay. Until one day, the oil light flickers, and by the time that light comes on, the damage is already done. That's like waiting for your body to bleed out before deciding you might need blood. Once the damage is there, it's irreversible. Your bearings are chewed up, your piston rings are worn, and your engine becomes a ticking time bomb. Oil is cheap, engines are not. You either invest in regular oil changes and checks, or you pay the ultimate price later. Simple as that. 3. Lugging the engine. Riding in too high a gear. This one is a silent killer most riders don't even realize they're guilty of. Lugging happens when you ride in too high a gear at too low a speed, forcing your engine to struggle and shake. It feels like you're saving fuel, but in reality, you're overloading your engine, making it fight against resistance it wasn't designed for. Think of it like lifting a heavy weight without warming up. You're straining muscles in ways they weren't meant to be used. Your engine was built to rev, to breathe, to move smoothly within its power band. When you lug it, you're sending violent shock waves through the crankshaft, bearings, and transmission. You might not hear the screams, but inside, the engine is literally being tortured. And here's the kicker. Riders who lug the engine often convince themselves they're being gentle on the bike. No, you're doing the exact opposite. You're forcing it to carry a burden it wasn't designed for. If you really want your bike to last, learn to downshift. Keep your engine in its happy range. Because when you lug, you're not saving fuel. You're stealing life from your engine. 4. Overheating and ignoring. Cooling engines hate heat. They're designed to operate within a specific temperature range. Go beyond it, and you're baking your engine alive. Yet riders constantly ignore signs of overheating, riding in traffic with no airflow, neglecting coolant changes, or even running the bike hard in scorching weather with zero consideration for cooling. And what happens? Metal expands, oil thins out, tolerances shrink, and your engine begins to warp from the inside. This is not theoretical, it's mechanical truth. Here's the manipulation. Every time you let your bike overheat, you're literally cooking the heart of your machine. And once metal parts warp or seize, there's no going back. Do you want to gamble the health of your motorcycle just because you couldn't pull over for a break, or because you were too lazy to check your coolant? Overheating is an assassin that kills silently, but brutally. Respect your engine's temperature, or watch it crumble before your eyes. 5. Cheap fuel and bad riding habits. Here's another rider sin: cheap fuel and reckless habits. Many riders think they're saving money by pumping the lowest grade fuel they can find. But your engine was designed to work with specific octane levels, specific quality standards. Bad fuel doesn't just reduce performance, it clogs injectors, fouls spark plugs, and leaves carbon deposits that choke your engine slowly. Over time, this builds up like plaque in your arteries until the flow of power is restricted. Pair that with reckless habits, constantly redlining, clutch slipping, or hammering the throttle with no mercy, and you're putting your engine through unnecessary stress cycles. Yes, engines are built tough, but nothing is indestructible. Abuse it long enough, and even the strongest motor will eventually give up. And here's the ugly truth. Riders who brag about thrashing their bike are usually the ones who end up crying when it dies prematurely. Respect the machine, fuel it right, and ride with balance. Otherwise, you're just proving to your bike that you don't deserve it. These are the habits that are silently killing motorcycle engines every single day. And if you're guilty of even one of them, you're part of the problem. The question is, are you willing to stop, or are you going to keep digging your bike's grave with your own hands? So now you know the worst habits that quietly kill motorcycle engines. And here's the twist. Most riders won't admit they're guilty. They'll swear they take care of their bike, yet still rev it cold, still run it low on oil, still fuel it with garbage. But I want to ask you directly, how many of these sins are you secretly guilty of? Be honest. Don't lie to yourself, because admitting it is the first step to saving your motorcycle before it's too late. Drop your confession in the comments. Do you warm your bike properly? Do you actually check your oil? Or are you one of those riders who's been destroying their engine without even knowing it? And if you think you're 100% innocent, prove it. Tell us the habits you refuse to do. Let's see who the real engine saviors are and who's been secretly murdering their bike the whole time.